You know, it's crazy in the sport of boxing when the shoe was on the other foot. Y'all seen Devin Haney run out that ring when Shakur Stevenson walked into the ring a couple years ago. Fast forward to yesterday. Ernesto Mercado disrespected Shakur Stevenson on the DAZN broadcast. He disrespected the man in front of everybody. It was viral overnight. And what did Shakur Stevenson do? Not a damn thing. Shakur Stevenson stood there and got disrespected and didn't do a damn thing about it. As a matter of fact, the man sat right back down after getting called out his name.
It's to you, Shakur. Stop being a girl.
One person who was watching the entire situation was Gervonta Tank Davis. Spooty on Twitter said, yo, Shakur got checked in front of his entire team, and he ain't step into that ring to check the man back. Is crazy. Gervonta Davis said, hey, yo, Shakur, what happened, bro?
This nigga's scared.
I said the same thing when I saw it. I thought Shakur was a gangster. I thought Shakur Stevenson was dressed all up in blue, trying to convince the boxing world that he's some type of crip. I thought the man was doing push-ups ringside. I thought the man was pumped up. I thought he was about that action. I thought the man was trained to go. But when he got called out, he tucked his tail like I knew he would.
What's your goof on?
Gervonta said, why everybody want to play so tough? Keyword play. Shakur Stevenson is acting when he try to act tough. I already proved that. Then Shakur Stevenson did an interview talking about Ernesto Mercado calling the man out. He basically said that Mercado was clout chasing. Check it out.
Now it's like a lot of lame shit. It's a lot of clout. Like how you just said, what's the guy name?
Tito Mercado.
He make niggas like him make the shit lame because it's like, bro, you talking about fighting me, but you at 140, bro.
Notice how Shakur Stevenson said Ernesto Mercado is clout chasing. He making boxing lame because they not in the same weight class. Shakur Stevenson homie, Mr. Ray Savage, aka Nick Ball biological son, was calling out Gervonta Davis knowing they was not in the same weight class. But I bet you Shakur Stevenson won't say a damn thing about his own teammate Ray Ford.
I never know what Tank do. He fight prospects.
Talking about Gervonta Davis fought a prospect in Frank Martin. Says the same guy who best buddy Shakur Stevenson is about to fight Kid Austin, a prospect. But y'all will hear him talk about this though. Y'all talking about Gervonta fight prospects, yet Shakur Stevenson's next fight is against a prospect. Mr. Spooty on Twitter said, wanna know what's crazy? His whole team will tell you fighting a prospect and Frank Martin, but they will never acknowledge that he about to fight Kid Austin. Gervonta Davis said exactly, Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion, will never challenge himself at the top level.
We'll see.
Another individual who was all up in their feelings last night, Terence Crawford, the man who watched Diego Pacheco beat his homie head in. The man was all up in his feelings. The man was super emotional. So emotional that he was getting into it with fans in the crowd. Check this out. Bud Crawford, stop threatening people, bro. We know you're not gonna jump over that rail and go choke out somebody in the crowd. You sound stupid. But when you wanna play tough knowing that people are recording, like Gervonta Davis said, you're gonna try to convince the public that you about that action. You're not gonna do a damn thing. Sit your ass down and watch your homie get his head beaten by Diego Pacheco. Goes back to what Gervonta Davis said. Why everybody wanna play tough, but they not tough. Speaking of somebody who wanna play tough, Edgar Berlanga had the audacity to tweet after my March 8th fight. These are the fighters who I want next. The 6 fights I want, no particular order. You got Jaime Munguia. Munguia stops Berlanga. Jamal Charlo stops Berlanga. Caleb Plant stops Berlanga. Shiraz stops Berlanga. He never gonna get a Canelo rematch. And Diego Pacheco most definitely stops Berlanga. 6 fights that he can't win. And I think that Eddie Hearn is trying to get on the United States good side. I think the man is finally coming around. He's starting to make a whole lot of sense. You seen the man hanging out with Floyd Mayweather. Him and Floyd is cool. But Eddie Hearn said something that made a whole lot of sense yesterday. Eddie Hearn did an interview and said, why should Inoue get to duck his mandatory 3 times? His resume is pretty trash. Inoue is very disappointing as a champion. It's time to take Inoue off that pound-for-pound list. Eddie Hearn believes that Inoue does not deserve to be on that pound-for-pound list. And the WBC look like they love to play fantasy boxing. Y'all know I Southpaw CV. I hate playing fantasy boxing. We talking about fantasy fights that would never happen. Would never happen, but y'all love to do it. The WBC posted this up on Instagram and Twitter. It says, fantasy fight, clash of the legends. Who wins? Julio Cesar Chavez or Floyd Mayweather, and how? Put it like this. Pernell Whitaker dominated Julio Cesar Chavez back in the day, if some of y'all can remember. What do y'all think Pretty Boy Floyd would do? A lot of y'all be acting like Chavez is some type of all-time great. The man got over 100 fights, but Floyd Mayweather still beat more champions. In my personal opinion, Chavez was a great fighter. Super overrated though. I think Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather would stop Julio Cesar Chavez, just like Costa Zoo did.
There's no fighter in the past that's better than me. There's no fighter that's in the future that's gonna be better than me. And there's no fighter better than me right now.
More fantasy boxing, this time with two active fighters who are not retired. Source of Boxing posts this up on Twitter. It says Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson at 140. Who wins?
Racism in this motherfucker.
Teofimo Lopez tags Shakur Stevenson with a meme talking about Shakur Stevenson is gonna run, and then run some more.
One of the softest I've ever seen in my life.
Even though Teofimo is not all there sometimes, I do agree that Shakur Stevenson wouldn't even fight Theo. Shakur Stevenson would duck Teofimo Lopez. I'm not even a Teofimo Lopez fan, but ain't no way Shakur Stevenson tries to stand and fight with Teofimo Lopez. Then Teofimo Lopez posts up this picture. What the hell is wrong with Teofimo Lopez? Why is the man dressed like this?
When you fake tough.
I think Theo needs to fight somebody already. I think the man needs to man up and fight Richards and Hitchens. Why is Teofimo Lopez making that face? Teofimo Lopez look like he's still. He look like you can't trust the man. Yo, Theo, why you making that face?
Why?
In all seriousness though, due to the fact that guys at 140 are calling out Shakur Stevenson, let you know that maybe Shakur Stevenson needs to move up in weight. It's not like he's gonna fight Gervonta at 135. Shakur Stevenson avoided the Gervonta Davis fight at 135. So why the hell is Shakur Stevenson still fighting at 135 when he already avoided a Gervonta Davis fight? He needs to move up to 140. Maybe challenge Teofimo Lopez or that Mercado dude. Let's see what happens.
Him and Diddy was in the pool.